Hey, what's up? I'm gonna go with my old school greeting where I say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time it is, but I hope whatever time it is for you that it is good. I am the Dr. Pepper teacher, Zach Bowman, and I have my Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I'm back for another episode of the Pondering Pepper, so let's crack this thing open and get started. Countdown with you. Ready? One, two, 23. Oh, it's beautiful. Can you hear me? Test, 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 test. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I forgot I had that muted. I think you can hear me. Is my mic working? Yeah, there we go. I guess I didn't have it muted. I muted myself. But that's all right. That's how we test things out. And if I am muted, this whole episode's going to be crazy. So hopefully you're good at lip reading. Um, and it's another episode of The Pondering Pepper. Back with another question for today. I was hoping I could have some of my co hosts and other ambassadors join me tonight, but our lives are busy and last minute, not a lot of people were able to hop on, and that's okay. So tonight's episode is focusing on a question that is kind of a deeper one to think about and vulnerability wise. Like, I have no problem talking about this stuff, but it may not make sense to a ton of people. So without further ado, tonight's pondering pepper question is for January 5th, the pondering pepper. What life lessons did you learn the hard way? Now, the reason why I said this might be a difficult question to answer is we all have different life experience. We all have different lessons that we've learned, some the easy way, some the hard way. And my lessons may not make sense to you. So as I was figuring out and thinking about how can I best communicate stuff to you without taking all day telling stories and explaining why my point of view was the way it was and why, which I know whenever we tell stories, we always believe our point of view is correct. And as much as I love to think that, I know that that's not always the case, and I'm wrong sometimes. I know, right? Shocker. Who would have thunk it? Um, oh, that's the socials. Got it. So I did some research, and I was like, I need to look at some. What are some just general concepts, general life lessons, and have I learned those ones the easy way, the hard way? Have you learned them the easy way, the hard way? So if you're watching, go ahead and give me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're new to the show, we just talk and drink Dr. Pepper. So welcome. Grab a Dr. Pepper, crack it open, and reward yourself. You deserve it. As I like to always say, it's 10, 2, or 4 o'clock somewhere. All right, so here's 20 valuable life lessons. First life lesson is life is a journey, not a destination. Um, I think it's a life lesson we all are currently learning or going through the process, obviously. I am very much a destination person. Like I am like this is where I want to go. This is the end goal. I get my focus on that. And sometimes the journey's fun. Other times it's difficult and painful. That's okay. So that could be one that you can learn the hard way. Next life lesson is time is our most valuable resource. This time is something we can never get back, and it's something we all have an equal amount of. I'm gonna not say we all have the equal amount of it. We all have time. Some of us have more time than others. It's just how we use the time we're given. In the sense that we all have the equal amount of, I would agree. Because when I was in college, one of my professors wrote up on the board 1440, which is, I believe, the number of minutes in a day. And I actually have the number written on my classroom board because I teach math. It's the number of seconds in a day, or possibly the number of seconds in a year. And none of my students have figured it out yet. And if they're watching this, they'll now understand what it is. And the reason I put it on there is because once they figure it out and they ask why I put it up there, because I'm going to say we all have the same amount of time. How are we going to use it? Being wise with those decisions and choices we make. So there could be some lessons learned the hard way there if you did not use your time wisely, ran out of time, or maybe time with certain individuals that just ran out. Number three, it says focus on your own journey, which kind of reminds me back of number one, life is a journey, not a destination. Uh, Focusing on yourself rather than others. That's hard for me, especially as a teacher. It's very easy to get focused on other people and what they may or may not need to do. What's up, Josh? Man, you should just hop on the show, man. If you can get on, comment, let me know, and I'll send you the link. We could chat this together. So it says our experiences, good and bad. It's what makes us who we are today. And number four is one that I sometimes thoroughly enjoy and other times that I absolutely hate. It is embrace change. Yep. As one of my co-creator, as the actually not one of my, you are the co-creator of this podcast. You are one of our co-hosts. But yep, I'm glad you were able to hop on for a little bit. Great to see you. We got to play Halo sometime. Elise, welcome back to the show. So the next life lesson that I found, like I said, was embrace change. I am somebody that likes to change things up, mix things up, just keep people on their toes. I also so much sometimes like to do things the way I've done it because I've always done it and it's comfortable. So that is sometimes a hard lesson to learn. Josh, yes, change means we're moving forward, unless that change is us moving backwards. Like if you changed your gear in your car to reverse, that's a backwards change. So you'll get my forgive my dad jokes. Number five says invest in relationships. Um, yep, that is. I don't know if that's necessarily a hard lesson to learn, but I'm a very relational person. I love making friends and getting to know people, spending time with my friends and just talking, hanging out. Part of the reason why I love this show and love this podcast that we started is it gives me a way to connect with all my Dr. Pepper friends and just grow that community. So that's always fun. Number six, take care of your health. Your health is most valuable asset, and it's important to take care of it. This means making healthy choices such as eating well, exercise regularly, and getting enough rest. Are all things that I probably should do more of, but I like Dr. Pepper and I'm busy, so I probably don't. So I feel like that's going to be one of those lessons that I'm learning the hard way. Number seven is embrace failure. Failure is a natural part of the learning process. I am one of those people that I hate failure. I hate when I can't do something. It drives me nuts. Um, I've heard the phrase fail forward. I also am a big believer in you only fail when you give up. I've banned the T word in my classroom. I've talked to you about that before because I said the T word is having the intent to fail. I always tell my students just do your best and you haven't failed. You just found ways that it doesn't work. So going back to just failing forward. Yes, Josh, going back to my previous point about your health, take care of your health, drink Dr. Pepper. I like it. Number eight, be kind and forgiving. I am, I'd say, a pretty kind person. I am pretty forgiving, although I know it sometimes is, if I have to continue to keep forgiving, it's like, do I really want to? That's a hard lesson because I also know that I am dumb and I make stupid choices and say some things sometimes that I'm like, I need forgiveness over and over again. So also remember to forgive in order to be forgiven. Yes, Josh, I agree. It is necessary. Dr. Pepper is necessary. Um, Next one up is pursue your passions. And this has been a lesson that I have not really learned the hard way. I feel like I've, ever since joining the Pepper Pack, I have jumped off the diving board into the deep end on this, pursuing my passions. Um, that's kind of what led to the making of this podcast because I wanted to continue to pursue whatever outlets and mediums that we could use for Dr. Pepper. And as they're getting ready to close the portal for the Pepper Pack and close the rewards in 15 days, I have expanded my passions and pursued those. So that's been a fun lesson to learn. And I guess I'm learning the hard way that not everybody shares that passion as we see the perk store and I guess the reward store and the Dr. Pepper Pepper Pack closed. That's going to be ending. Elise broke your elbow riding your bike to work. That sounds painful. I'm sorry that happened. You deserve a Dr. Pepper. I don't believe I've ever broken a bone. I've technically fractured my wrist once when I was younger. And then I had a bolt put in my skull, so they kind of broke a bone. The doctors kind of broke a bone for me. Um, all right. Next one. Number 10, take responsibility for your actions. That is a hard one to learn. And it's one I teach my daughter and my students all the time. I always tell them, if you would just say, hey, you know what? I messed up. I'm sorry. I am more likely to work with you, help you out, forgive you, versus where we start playing the blame game. What's so and so's fault? They did this, they did that. Um, I didn't do it. They said this first. Because I know this is something my wife and I always talk about. Like, anytime she has something she wants to talk about, I very much go into that defense mode of, well, you said that or you did this. So that's why I was doing it. I just got to take that responsibility, and that's hard sometimes. Oh, Josh. Yep. I like this. He says, I would say find the opportunities to laugh even when you don't feel like it. I love that one. I'm always finding ways to laugh. The Bible talks about how laughter is good medicine. So I tell my wife that's why I don't get sick very often because I'm always laughing. Most of the time it's at myself. Um, I was talking about the other night how my youngest daughter was just cracking up belly laughing because we were making faces in the mirror and listening to music. So yeah, finding time to laugh is always a great lesson. Not necessarily one that I would say you have to learn the hard way, but I think it's a great life lesson still. Number 11, be grateful. Gratitude is a powerful tool that can help us appreciate what we have in our lives. I'm very grateful for Dr. Pepper and the time I've had in the Pepper Pack and all the experiences we got to have, the relationships and friendships we've made. Mm, Number 13 is set clear goals. I actually like Dr. Pepper colored goals. Clear goals remind me of a different soda that I don't drink, but I know what they mean. Set goals that are definite and have a measurable outcome. Uh, I had a goal that started my Dr. Pepper journey. My goal to start a Dr. Pepper journey was to set the world record for the largest Dr. Pepper can collection, and that worked out to me having over 4,000 Dr. Pepper cans that I collected over 3 years, and I broke the record for the Guinness World Records, but they did not recognize me as the record breaker because my cans had to be of a unique design. No two cans could be the same. Otherwise, they said the warehouse or manufacturer that makes the sodas would have their record in their warehouses. I said, that's dumb. I'm a private consumer. They didn't care. But in my mind, I broke that record. Uh, right there, at least you're already practicing being grateful, drinking, grateful to the 1024 Club. I'm actually not a part of that. I should join that. I'm just like, that's money I got to spend though. And having two little kids, it's like they're expensive as it is. But I do want to go to the 1024 Collectors Convention one of these years. I think that'd be awesome to head out there. 14, learn from your experiences. Experiences, both positive and negative, are valuable opportunities to learn and grow. By reflecting on our experiences, we can gain insight into our strengths and weaknesses and use knowledge to become better versions of ourselves. I would say that's a pretty agreed upon statement. Uh, I do know this kind of goes back to what was the previous one I just said? Embracing failure. That's number 7, life lesson. Learn from your experiences. When you quote unquote fail, are you going to learn from it? Are you going to adapt, change, make a decision? Or are you just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? Learning from those experiences is a great life lesson that is sometimes very difficult when those experiences are painful and not necessarily the way we want them to turn out. 15. Practice patience and persistence. Now, this one is a hard one sometimes. Yes, Josh. Sorry, y'all. Like, what is he looking at? Josh commented, my friend, the random dude. Be grateful for the experiences that you've had, like submitting something to the Dr. Pepper Museum and being part of a small group of people who have had their face on a bottle of Dr. Pepper. More correctly, this Dr. Pepper bottle right here, where I have my face on it. Josh has one just like it with his face on it, because as the co-creators of this Pepper Pack podcast, we are blessed with those by Dr. Pepper, and so that was awesome. Touched my heart. But again, back to this when I was talking about practicing patience and persistence. I am a very patient person sometimes as a teacher because I have at any time anywhere between 10 to 30 students asking questions, listening to me teaching, and it just doesn't bother me. But then when there's something I want to do or want to buy or need to fix or clean, I get very much in doer mode. Like I don't want to sit here around and wait. I want to get it done. My poor wife, y'all have to pray for her because I'll come home and she'll be like, "Can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Can you?" Help me? And I just start doing it. And she's like, "Well, no, no, I want you to sit down and wait a little bit and just hang out with me and the girls." And I'm like, I can't. Once I get something in my mind, I'm like, I have to do it. I have to get it done. So practicing patience there is for hard for me. That's one of those lessons that I'm learning still the hard way to be patient and just enjoy the time and the moment. Uh, Next one, number 16 out of 20 is be confident in yourself. Confidence is key to success in all areas of life. I would say I am good at giving the appearance of confidence, but also sometimes wondering, like, what the heck am I doing? I don't know if you've all ever felt that way. It could be one of those hard lessons you've learned. Um, it's also hard when you're absolutely confident and sure of something and it turns out you are wrong. That comes back to the it's okay being wrong, learning from your experiences and failures. Um, Number 17, take care of your mental health. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and it is important to take care of it. Whether it's therapy, from mindfulness practices, or other forms of self care, it is important to prioritize our mental health to live a happy and fulfilling life. Um, I don't disagree with that. This is not something I necessarily struggle with or have that lessons that I've had to learn the hard way, but I do know that a lot of people struggle with their mental health and it's important. Um, for me, my faith has been a huge um, foundation that I have in my life. So when I do have struggles and I do have things to fall back on, that has been that foundation for me. So to help with that mental health battle, I always have that foundation that I had growing up. So I have that to lean on and pull from. So that's part of the reason why I don't think I struggle with that as much. Just knowing what I know and believing what I believe. Number 18 is finding balance in life, which I always laugh at this word, balance. I know they're referring to the amount of energy we put out versus the rest and our time management balance. But I always think of just walking balance. And ever since my car accident, my balance has been thrown off. Like I could walk and I could run, but it's always a little shaky sometimes. And so climbing and jumping off certain things. So I'm just like, nope, my balance is, nope, it's not good. So when it said find balance in life, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Uh, Number 19 is one that I had not even looked at until just now, and it just hit me that this is going to be a hard lesson to learn. This is literally like, I don't know, the Lord just made this all work out. What lessons in life did you learn the hard way? It's learn to let go. And with the Pepper Pack closing, I've already made the comments on the portal. I'm like, I'm not letting go. I'm not giving up easy. I'm not taking this sitting down. I'm going to keep our Pepper Pack going. It's going to be a self ambassador run. And I think it's important to hold on to some things. But I also agree there are some things that you need to learn to let go of. Um, Thinking back in my own life, there have been some relationships in high school and college that I probably should have let go of sooner. But you want to hold on to those, and then you end up realizing, that was a bad idea. There are jobs that I probably should have let go of, but again, I like that familiarity. I know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in control, so I held on to them probably longer than I should have. Josh, you said that's the one I struggle with so much. I'm thinking about, are you talking about the let go, learn to let go, probably, or the balance, or both? Who knows? But that's okay. And then the final one: seek knowledge and continue learning. This one to me feels like a normal lesson, not necessarily a life lesson, because as a teacher, they say you're supposed to be a lifelong learner. You're always learning, always growing. I think that's an important lesson. I always tell my students your brain is a muscle, and muscles grow when you use them and stretch them and exercise them. And if you're not using them, they shrink. So in that aspect, I think it is important to be a lifelong learner to continue to grow and strengthen. Yep, the letting go of things. Yep, it's easier just to hold on to that hand and keep it because it makes it feel like you're in the control, but just then learning to surrender and let go. That's a tough one. I hear you. But yep, going back to that last one, being the lifelong learner. One of these days, I'm hoping to learn the 23 secret ingredients of Dr. Pepper. Not that I can use it to make it or tell anyone, but just to say that I finally learned it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Um, but yeah, so that was tonight's episode of the Pondering Pepper. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining in the comments. If you haven't yet, check out our link tree. Let me put that up here. Josh, so greatly. All right, Josh, I owe you so much, man. You made this link tree for us. You can check all our socials on there, follow us, give us a like, share, comment, all that stuff. It helps get our podcast out there. And if you want to support the podcast, you could do that as well. Richard said he actually created this, so I'm going to give him a shout out. He said you could support the podcast and give us $230. You don't have to, but if you ever wanted to, we would accept it and say thank you. We'll give you a receipt. But really, the best way to support us is if you check out our Redbubble store. Um, Josh and Connor have put together some awesome designs. I've come up with a few sayings that just stuck and we throw it on a shirt. You can purchase shirts, phone cases, magnets, stickers, sweatshirts, hoodies, all kinds of stuff with our logos and our sayings on there. Send them as gifts, buy them for yourself, share those on Facebook and social media, get it out there. We appreciate that. But as always, it's been a blast just chatting with you guys. If you have any comments, feedback, go ahead and leave us comments on our page. We appreciate that. And be blessed, be a pepper, be caffeinated, and until we drink again, we'll see y'all next time.